Hi everyone. In today's clip, I will talk a little bit about process of manifestation through observation. Just a reminder that anything I post here is my experience only and is provided for informational purposes. So to explain this, first I need to talk a little bit about observation theory in quantum physics. And don't worry, I'm not going to become too boring, hopefully. So this revolves around the idea that the act of observation seems to fundamentally affect the outcome. At the heart of the observer theory is the observer effect, which is the demonstrated phenomena that observing a quantum system can change its state. The most famous example of this is the double slit experiment that you can look up on the internet, and there's tons of information about it. So basically, without actual observation, when quantum particles like electrons and photons pass through two slits without being observed, they create a pattern characteristic of a wave. So this suggests that each particle is somehow going through both slits simultaneously. However, with observation, the pattern disappears and the particles behave like individual bullets, each passing through only one slit. So this experiment points towards the fact that the act of looking or measuring somehow forces the quantum particle to choose a definite state, in this case a specific path. The observer effect has led to a lot of different interpretations of quantum mechanics, each offering a different explanation for what's happening. But all in all, the observer effect in quantum mechanics is a real and well-documented phenomenon. So now, looking at that and hearing all there is about frequency of manifestation and the fact that many have said what you think about brings the whole thing sort of home for me. Seeing that there is no real segregation in energies, and the fact that we're all made of energy and nothing else, there is something that I believe in, which is called you are what you observe. The idea that you are what you observe suggests a deep interconnectedness between our awareness and the reality we perceive. If we take this as a starting point, here's how you can impact your life. One, by consciously choosing what you observe. So directing your attention, your focus is like a spotlight. Whatever you consistently direct your attention to or towards becomes more prominent in your awareness and consequently in your perceived reality. By consciously choosing to focus on positive aspects, opportunities, and solutions, you begin to shape your experience. The second thing is filtering information. You're constantly bombarded with information during the waking hours. By becoming aware of the filters through which you process this information, like your beliefs, biases, assumptions, you can consciously choose to adopt more empowering filters. This allows you to perceive situations in more constructive light. 3, your surroundings significantly influence what you observe. By intentionally surrounding yourself with positive influences, supportive people, inspiring content, beautiful environments, you are actively shaping the input that forms your awareness, or in other words, you are curating your environment. 4, by changing how you observe and shifting your perspective. The same situation can be perceived in countless ways. 2 people will never describe the same thing exactly the same way. By consciously choosing to look at things from different angles, you can uncover new possibilities and solutions that were previously unseen. So practicing empathy and trying to understand others' perspective can broaden your own perspective. 5 is mindfulness, which involves observing your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. This practice creates a space between you and your observations, allowing you to react less automatically and choose more intentional responses. 6 is intentionally observing and appreciating the good things in your life will shift your focus towards abundance and positivity. This can lead to a more fulfilling and optimistic experience. 7, by understanding the observer effect, which is the act of observation changes the observed. As I mentioned sort of earlier a little bit, the observer effect suggests that the act of observing can change the outcome. While applying this directly to daily life is complex, the underlying principle is a very powerful one. Your focused attention and intention can influence the situations you're observing. For example, approaching a conversation from with the expectation of a positive outcome can subtly shift the dynamics and increase the likelihood of the outcome. 8 is your beliefs about yourself and the world can shape your actions and consequently the reality you experience. If you observe yourself as capable and worthy, you are more likely to take actions that lead to success. Equally, negative self-perception can lead to self-sabotaging behaviors. In essence, if you are what you observe, you impact your life by becoming a more conscious and intentional observer, which involves taking responsibility for where you direct your attention, actively choosing the information and environments you expose yourself to, cultivating mindful awareness of your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions, intentionally shifting your perspective to uncover new possibilities, understanding the power of your beliefs and expectations in shaping your reality. By becoming a deliberate observer, you move from being a more passive recipient to an experience to an active co-creator of your life. You gain agency by recognizing that your internal world and your external perceptions are deeply intertwined and that you have the power to influence them both. Hope this has been helpful. Like and follow for more. Be the light.